the half-hour time frame that we have, and we break it down into however many folks we have here. So I see Larry in the back. Gary Gorblish, don't see Gary yet. He pre-registered as well. Kent Bolson, the folks from BuzzFest. Okay, so we've got those. And Sally, are you speaking on your own, or you're speaking with, you're just speaking? Okay, we're gonna, because Gary did call in and he did register, what we'll do is we're gonna start this off and we're gonna kind of limit everybody to about 6 minutes to make sure everybody's got a chance. And would you like to speak to the council, or are you looking for Dwayne?
Either or.
Either or, okay.
If he's not here, I'll speak to the council.
Okay, I think he's on his way, unless something else is on its way. It's a possibility as well. Why don't we start with this? Why don't we give everybody 5 minutes, and then we'll, if we can expand, we will, but we'll give 5. And I'm not sure if Dwayne's going to be here or what his timing is going to be. And you can go last then, okay? So Larry, why don't you start if you could, please? Come on up. I saw you pre-registered. Thanks for doing that. Everybody, we're going to need you to sign in. Ultimately, we'll need your name and address and so on. And as you start your comments, if you could just identify yourself officially for the record.
Hi, I'm Larry Frost. You don't mind, I'm going to stand up. I've been sitting all day.
All right.
And I'm a resident of Bloomington. This has not been the best day for me. I had to sit at my desk all day typing, and then I had to go to the Y and find out all the showers were cold. And then I dropped my honey barbecue chicken on my lap while I was eating out a party. So it could have been a better day. I have to say, I'm sorry to be here tonight too. Any public official, but especially public elected officials, have a special burden to wield the powers they are entrusted with carefully and husband the resources they are given frugally. Even a small municipality has resources few ordinary citizens can match. Abuse of those resources against a citizen is despicable. A few years ago, this city passed an ordinance barring photography of children in public parks. The ordinance was found to be unconstitutional by the 8th Circuit and cost the city, I suspect, a great deal of money. That ordinance on its face violated longstanding legal precedent and should not have happened. Tonight, I'm here because the city council published allegations that I posted pictures of children, online pictures that were so gross, according to Councilwoman D'Alessandro, and forgive me if I mispronounced that.
That's okay.
That she could not mention them in a public council meeting. Not satisfied, D'Alessandro twice used language indicating I had committed a detestably vile crime. The council then published these falsehoods on a city website where anyone in the world can see them. My problem with the council is that the allegations are utterly baseless. I have, to the best of my knowledge, never posted any pictures of any children anywhere at any time. In fact, I haven't posted much of anything online. I deliberately don't even maintain a social media presence. Those of you who don't know, I was an intelligence officer for 27 years. It's kind of a habit. I have to defend my reputation from this attack by Bloomington. You have lawyers on staff at least 3 different divisions. That's a lot of lawyers. You have essentially limitless financial resources. If you need more, you can tax more. I have none of those resources. But if I allow your false allegations to stand, you've tarnished my reputation forever. During all this misconduct by you, the city council, not one of you tried to call me and ask if any of it was true. Simple phone call. When my friend Sally Ness asked for proof, you stonewalled her. The most you provided was a website I have nothing to do with, which never published a picture of me addressing you, which published a picture of me addressing you when I was serving as Sally Ness's attorney at the city council. That was it. Nothing to do with children at all. Your abuse of power should shame you. Your unwillingness to even research your own claims is unacceptable. Councilwoman D'Alessandro, you admitted on tape you've never even seen any of the pictures.
Right.
Even if you stonewall me, this is going to cost Bloomington citizens expensive attorney time once again. You advance personal political agendas and grudges at our expense. What you have done is not only wrong, it's wasteful and abusive. Sally, would you please go ahead and do that? And then that's all I've got. I like short.
Very good. Thank you.
Do I get to respond, Ms. Mayor?
Please.
So we have a little bit of time?
We do.
Yeah. So I'll just go on record again, suggesting that, number one, I didn't accuse you personally of anything. Sally came in here and accused us of something, and I rebutted saying that, here's the deal. This information is publicly available. I provided the proof that this website included all of this hateful information. It's true that it's hateful. You don't have to agree with that or not. You didn't write it, neither did I. That's my opinion, that's your opinion. But I handed it to her and said, here is what I'm referring to when I say that this is what happened. Now, as you just said, specifically said, I didn't see it. I don't know who took the pictures, and I don't think that it's Sally's or your pictures. I said that. We can go back to the record and you and I could sit down and go through it line by line if you want to. That was never the point. The point wasn't, I wasn't accusing you or Sally of anything in particular. What I was suggesting, and actually stating accurately, is that when this information is abused, as it was by that website, people feel like they're being treated badly, and it's hate speech. Now, that website is the one that's accused of hate speech.
Are you talking about the Third Rail website? Is that?
Correct. Absolutely. The one that I handed to her with lots of screenshots that included explicit references to her blog and explicit references to your testimony at our council meeting. That's it. That's all it is. There's no blatant, I'm not accusing you of hate speech. I'm not accusing Sally of hate speech. I'm saying this hateful website is referencing your material in their interest of creating hateful dialogue on this issue. That's it. And I will say that 95 times to you if you want me to, but that's what was happening. You weren't here, sir. So I suggest you go back and listen to it. And so you and I should be on the same page.
Except that, well, even if that was not relevant, because your other comments, including accusing me of a detestably vile crime, which are your words, not mine.
I don't believe that I accused you of that crime, sir. And we can go back and roll the tape.
You could have.
I would never have done that to you because I don't have any right to accuse you of anything.
Thank you for saying that.
Thank you, Larry, thank you. And thank you, Councilmember D'Alessandro.
What was my time?
5:31, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
That's all right. It's my fault. Fine.
Thank you.
Opportunity.
Gary, are you in the room yet? I don't see Gary. Let's go on to Kent Folsom, if you could.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor, council members, city staff. I included city manager in my notes, but he's not here, so you'll have to do that for him, Mike. I'm Kent Bolson, a Bloomington resident. Since I retired last year, my job title is suburban gardener, so I had to clean up a little bit to be with you tonight. In the interest of time, I'll begin with my specific request and then provide the background. I request that future preliminary levy presentations to the HRA and Port Authority boards include a sentence reminding the board members that in 2023, in the 2023 reorganization plan, the city council asked that the sum of the levies of these two authorities be constrained within the statutory cap of the HRA levy. So let me start by saying thank you to the city manager and the community development director and the other staff who worked on the budget. You did it. You kept the promise, demonstrated good government, concern for taxpayers. The 2024 levy requests from these two authorities exactly match the HRA statutory cap. This is good news. Should be written up in the Sun Current. Should be featured in the council minute after the council approves these levy requests next month. People need to know how well the public is being served. However, for some reason that I don't understand, this good news is being hidden. Hidden from the public, hidden from the board members responsible for approving these levy increases. In the presentation to the HRA board and the subsequent discussion, this information was hidden in a misleading budget comparison that showed a 40% decrease to the levy with no explanation. Not surprisingly, one of the new board members raised a question. He was not involved in last year's reorganization, doesn't know the story. He asked, is the amount of money we are levying, is that amount the highest amount that we can go? Or is there a statute based on that amount? If we can levy a little more, will that cover any concerns we have? Great question. Great board member. And a perfect opportunity to explain context, history. But no one in that meeting provided him with the actual good news explanation. This leads me to ask you today, is there a reason that we're hiding this good news?
I see our HRA board representative.
My understanding is,
The look on her face.
yeah, my understanding is that both the port and the HRA preliminary levies are going to be in front of council in the next month or two. Like I thought both.
18th, September 8th.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's the time probably where we would have a more robust, I would assume that's when we would have a more robust conversation around.
Right. So the council members will know that, but the board members for some reason can't know that before they make their recommendation.
Yeah, well, I mean, I
Seemed really odd.
would hope that the intention wasn't to hide information because it's all public information, right? And maybe it was an oversight. I don't know. I don't put together the agenda
Right,
packets.
yeah.
I think I made a comment in the HRA meeting saying that the council.
Exactly, and I appreciated that.
Yeah. the
It didn't go quite as far as I would have.
Yeah, and I wasn't
Yeah.
on the HRA board until
Right.
January, I think. So I didn't know, I would have assumed that the HRA had these conversations, right? Like that they were well aware of the changes to the accountabilities of the port and the HRA and how the
Right.
levies would be impacted. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we have very, very good staff. And so I don't think that they're
Absolutely.
intentionally withholding information.
Yeah, I mean,
to deceive anybody.
It's likely that, city manager, director, whoever gave them their numbers.
Yeah. But
And they made sense.
point though, to always be providing the
I
background.
think that transparency, if we don't remind ourselves as people come and go through these things, we'll forget.
Yeah.
I agree with
Little
you.
pattern.
Agree with you. And actually just had the conversation today with some folks about staff presentations and the crispness of staff presentations. And we need to work on the crispness of some of the presentations. So it's something we have talked about, and I agree that that type of context should have been provided in that discussion. Mike?
Mr. Mayor, council members, so I appreciate that because I was the one who talked about crispness.
He did.
Okay,
Hard to say, but it's crispness.
it's a good idea.
The sentence, there's a sentence it's the third sentence in the packet item, which is the proposed budget maintains the HRA levy at 0.0185% hyphen statutory cap. It wasn't in the slide materials, it was in the written material, so point well taken.
Okay, yeah, I read through that and didn't see it, but I appreciate that.
Okay.
Again.
No, we're at time here, so very quickly.
Yeah, just
Very-
I'm assuming that the change that you're referring to, the reduction now was because of the shift that we made, right?
Yeah.
Moving the HRA staff to the port staff, et cetera, and all that.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
The
Exactly.
reorganization that we did, the
Right, right.
agreement was that it would be a zero sum.
Right,
basically.
exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so that makes a ton of sense. We should provide that background.
Yep, agreed.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
when in the end, yeah, I had to do all the math
Yep.
and I had to discover for myself that the $1.5 million this year for the Port Authority is 7% more than the 1.4 they had in the joint powers agreement last year. And the 1.67 billion for the HRA is a 21% increase from what was in theirs. I couldn't find that without sitting down and doing the math all myself.
Point well taken. Yep, appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Our BuzzFest representatives, any and all can come forward.
Yeah, I'm claiming him too. So we have a contingent of Bloomington people here. And Honorable Mayor Bosi, hi, and council members. And yeah, nice to see you, pardon. Yes, and city manager.
Nope.
No,
City attorney.
sorry,
Attorney, assistant city manager.
okay.
City manager's en route.
See, okay. I'm Ava McKnight and I'm founder of Alt Lawns. I'm here on behalf of Alt Lawns to invite you to BuzzFest. We have packets. You can go ahead and, because I'm not going to go word for word. I confirmed that this will be on the record, like whatever I put in will be on the record, and just in interest of time and interest as well. You guys can read this. But we are inviting you to Alt Lawns, which is September 16th. And our event lasts from 10 to 1. Lona has been there, council member has been there, yes, last year. And we're looking for your support. It's we're gonna start out the event with both places at Moyer Park. And one of the places has a speaking, like it's easy to hear, that smaller room. So we're going to have something that we did before, that Councilmember D'Alessandro did attend, is an event where residents and cities can talk with each other. And we did it joint with Richfield and Bloomington. And it worked really well. It was just a really nice conversation. And we're gonna shorten it. We'll only have a half hour. So we're looking for about a 10-minute, hello, this is who I am, this is what we do. These are the things that we're doing, and then open it up for conversation. And we hope that you represent there. And I think that's the thing. So backing up to who we are and who's putting this on, it's Outlawns of Richfield and Bloomington. We have about 700 members and started at 15 in 2019. So we've grown very quickly. Some of the interests are water use, fossil fuels, mass extinction that's in progress, and we want to provide habitat. So all the details are in there. Some of them you're already familiar with, but these are the passions that we come to Outlawns with. And what's another one that you were saying?
Noise.
Yeah.
Noise of mowing.
Yeah.
and Mowing, yeah.
Don't get me started.
Yep. So all those things, and then we are really actively building resiliency into our community and into our lawns. And thank you also for your support. I think you've been in touch with Kendra. Yeah, and Kendra Ryson has written this. I'm here delivering it on her behalf. So that is, so the resiliency is also, I'm just going to say, she did put a quote in there from your words, particularly in a meeting where the city of Bloomington commits to working toward an inclusive and equitable climate emergency mobilization effort, and will engage Bloomington residents and leaders to support climate solutions. And here we are. So we are really looking forward to partnering with you. We'll have BuzzFest. You'll see the link on there. Danny did the promotional piece, yes. And Bloomington resident. And the websites are also on there. So you can see the vendors that are exhibitors that are going to be there, speakers. Really exciting program. So. Any questions?
No, I just want to thank you.
Yeah.
For coming to us and talking about this. I can tell you that around this table, you've got receptive ears.
I
Trust me,
hear that.
a lot of folks who are gardeners in this group and agree with you on
Okay.
all of the points that you made. Appreciate your efforts to bring this on a larger scale. Sometimes it's difficult to actually try and start that conversation or get people thinking in a certain way. And so I appreciate the thought on all of this. And I mean, I think Councilmember D'Alessandro buttonholed me again the other day. I saw your email and forgot to respond, and she buttonholed me again, but I will certainly be there.
Okay, good,
Mhm.
good,
And looking forward to the conversation. I think.
great.
Yes.
So 10 o'clock is when we start and that's your time. So just put that 10 is the time. And I'm gonna say, there was gonna be one other person, Andy Scott, who is one of your sustainability commissioners, has supported us immensely. And he was gonna be here tonight, couldn't be. So I just want to bring that up that, pardon?
Also Bloomington resident.
Yes, yeah,
And he will be presenting at the event.
yeah.
Good. Well, very good.
Okay,
Thank you.
all good.
Good. Thank you much.
Thank you. Good.
Yes.
You too.
And I get the best of both worlds. You can talk to the entire council and Dwayne is here. I think. Were you hoping to speak or? No, I didn't. We're listening. I thought so. Thank you. Thank you. No, please.
My name is
Just wanted you to see it.
Mike List, and I'm a resident of Bloomington. My address is 10313 Fifth Avenue South, Bloomington 55420. I think most of you have seen or heard the email that took place. I just want to kind of take a step back from that a little bit about the incident itself, and just kind of talk about the actual impacts that took place with that, and in particular to the gentleman that was at the center of it, a patient within that group home. And for months, he was acting out in his backyard, or in the backyard of this facility. And, you know, numerous like, oh my, what, you know, I mean, as a resident, I have no idea what is going on. And finally, after months, just a simple request of, hey, you know, language, my daughter's maybe 20 feet from you playing on a swing and a slide. And that's the escalation that took place. Now, we have no protection. I mean, we all walked away. If someone had escalated something or just even said, hey, you know, I mean, who knows where this goes? And, you know, and for me, I'm like, it really gets into the supervision that's taking place in these facilities. For 2 months, this person is being neglected, not being served at all. And, you know, we met with the liaison, and the liaison's like, well, okay, well, this person was checked into a facility, has had now received appropriate care, and how are things going now? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not going into that house and understanding what's going on. But according to the comments was, well, he's on additional medication and he's, you know, he should be in a better place now. My point is, how can this person be neglected for 2 months? I mean, this was going on almost every day. And, you know, what type of supervision are we putting in place? What type of supervision do we have going on in these facilities? And, you know, obviously whatever it is isn't enough. I mean, you know, I mean, this person was obviously being neglected. And, you know, we don't know enough to be able to, you know, respond or do anything with this. So, I mean, my first question is, what is our standards for making sure that these facilities are being properly monitored so the people that need the help are getting the help?
When you say, you said we a few times and you say our standards, if I'm correct, these are state or county licensed facilities. So the supervision doesn't fall to the city of Bloomington. And I agree, if there are supervision issues, they should be addressed, but it's not as though Bloomington has the authority to address those supervision issues.
We can, Mr. Mayor, in the case of properties where we have repeat calls and difficult situations, we will reach out to the licensing agency and talk to them about it if we're not getting satisfaction from the operator. But that's the extent of our influence.
And has that happened in this situation?
We have worked with the operator. I don't believe we've reached out to the licensing
Got
agency.
it. Okay.
And I don't recall if this is a county or a state facility.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that might be the official next step. Councilmember Carter?
I'm just wondering at the state level, you know, what kind of conversations they've, I mean, I know that there have been worker shortages in these types of facilities. And it's been hard to retain employees, but do we know, were there conversations happening at the state this last legislative session to increase support or because to help with some of the, I think the same thing is happening right in nursing homes where there's concern about workers, but then also patient care and.
Well, I mean, so when we met in with the liaison for the city, I mean, I was kind of like, okay, well, I've seen what I've seen from my standpoint of when I've been there. When we got everybody, all the neighbors together and met with the liaison, it was shocking. And we were talking staff members harassing neighbors. I mean, making simple requests like, hey, when you park your car, so the city can actually pick up the trash a little bit easier. Can you park a little bit farther away so we can put the trash container on the curb? Literally, the staff member drove the car into the driveway to another neighbor, and then started,
So there are issues with the staff as well.
yes, I mean,
Okay.
we're talking about staff members going outside and getting stoned in between care.
Interesting.
And literally, while we were there at the liaison meeting, one of the people had to go back to work, went to their car and came back to the liaison officer and said, if you don't believe what we're talking about with all of the smoking that's going on, he's sitting in the car right now.
And so when you say liaison, is there a police liaison? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just.
So we're at time here. And so what I want to do is tell you that what we can do is, I think it is time to take that next step, Mr. Verbrugge, to follow up with the licensing authority, whoever that might be, and address some of this, because you're exactly right. It shouldn't, this type of, certainly from the staff level, should never happen. And if there are issues with the residents, they should be addressed appropriately by the licensing agency.
Yeah, well,
All right.
Are you guys are going through this?
I know it's not satisfying. Trust me, this is happening in lots of places around the city.
well, no, I mean, I've got the numbers.
Yep.
And that's my point. When the city is saying they don't have control, is just in my area from 35 over to 77, there are 83 group homes. When you multiply that by, because it's largely a grid, you multiply that by 8 people immediately impacted by that, you're looking at 664 homes that are in direct impact to that. When you count the number of residents based on the residential assessment districts, number of homes within each one, you're looking at approximately, on a group home impact, 10% of your residents
Yeah.
within that,
I live right next to one.
within that area.
Yep. Right.
And then if you start to take a look at the absentee homes or absentee rental facilities, you are talking in this area, 576 homes. Multiply that by 8, you were talking 4,600. You're talking 60% of the residents of that area are impacted by absentee supervision. And the city has largely advocated that.
No, that's not.
And I'm, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah, well, that's
My opinion, because.
Well, if you will, Mayor, if you could.
Very, very quickly, we got to wrap it.
The thing you gotta understand, I've got a group home right behind me. Every day, wake up, we got problems. We definitely have problems. But there's jurisdiction here. The state has jurisdiction of this. Now, certainly, since this is in our area, certainly we can help to liaison, but we do not have the authority like Hennepin County or the state has over those particular group homes. And in fact, we'd be violating state law or county law if we were to do anything above and beyond that. So we are, in a sense, neighbors with you on this. Now, I think the mayor has already said that he's willing to, and our manager is going to work with you on this. I've had similar situations and that type of thing. And I've been able to go over and talk to the staff and be able to get it worked out, but it seems that your situation, that's not the case. And to say that all of these homes are a problem, I think that's a statement too far, in my opinion.
I'm just saying,
I get it.
when I gave those numbers, that's potential for impact.
Okay.
And I
we gotta-
want you to be
we
aware
gotta be
that
clear on that, because
we're looking at 50% of the residents within a area
And we've got,
are exposed.
and I,
We're at time here.
no, and we could talk afterwards.
And I never made that claim.
All right, well, let's talk.
That was never said.
All right, thank you. Thank you. State facility, we just
I
understood.
know.
So, all right, council at 6:15, we are at our adjournment time. Look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
All right.
We are adjourned. We'll see you downstairs. Thank you.